I chose to do Peak because I knew that I was meant to be at camp. I think Peak's probably empowered me and given me the skills that I've needed.
I loved volunteering at camp, and when I heard about the Peak program, it kind of felt too good to be true.
I wanted sort of a gap year going out of school, and I knew that Peak could offer what I wanted.
I felt like I needed some spiritual growth, and I really wanted to spend a year at camp working with kids and learning about how camp operates as a whole.
My life wasn't really heading in the direction I wanted to go in, and I was like, maybe this is for me, and I kind of prayed about it a bit, chatted to heaps of people, and it all just fit together and felt like it should.
I started coming when I was in grade 3 to my very first Little Tackers, and had sort of done camper, leader, supervisor, study leader. Once you've sort of done all that and you want to get more involved, Peak was perfect.
One of the biggest things I got out of Peak or learnt was self-confidence and awareness of who I am, what I need, and what I can bring.
It was a program that helped me sort of explore adulthood in a safe environment.
I really enjoy working in like the admin or ministry offices because there's lots of people skills that I get to use there, so like answering phones or like chatting to guests when they're checking out and stuff, so really enjoy that aspect of it.
Definitely really enjoyed having guest speakers come in and getting to learn from them.
Hanging out with people sort of after hours that live on site at camp, people that do want the best for you and they want to guide you and make you a better person. Because it's a really big part of the Peak program, I think, that's not necessarily in the description.
Just giving the campers the experience that I had and being able to help grow them.
Just all the fun and the memories that we had. And I grew a lot at camp and through Peak program, except in height.
Getting to work at camp, be involved in the kitchen, be involved in the office, and do activities with the groups were all really awesome. And getting to supervise the camps, that's always an awesome job.
My favourite out trip was the one we did later in the year. We went to the walls of Jerusalem. I camped at Lake Ball and spent the night on my own, and it was pretty incredible to see what I was capable of, and I enjoyed the challenge.
Peak's definitely full of highlights, for sure. We went on a lot of hikes, like Mount Ossa. You know, tallest, biggest, furthest. That was very, very cool to be standing at the top of Tasmania after a pretty tricky couple of days to get up there.
It was really cool to like be able to achieve like a whole walk and like camping overnight. We went to Shadow Lake at Lake St Clair, and it was good.
Probably Walls of Jerusalem. I think that that's just one of my favourite spots in Tasmania. Every trip in there's brilliant.
But I think actually one of my favourites was a day trip going up Mount Montgomery because it was really cool having snow at the top of the mountain.
If you're thinking about Peak, I would suggest chatting to someone who's done it or someone who knows a bit about it because I think it's definitely worth doing.
Go for it. Peak is awesome.
Absolutely do it. Won't regret it.
It is a pretty amazing opportunity to grow as an adult.
It's great for anyone that feels like they just want to work on themselves a little bit spiritually, for someone that needs a little bit of a challenge maybe to grow themselves as a person.
Spending a year working at this place and trying everything, you'll get so much out of it, yeah.
It's worth it. If you can dedicate that year of your life to Peak, to camp, put the time aside and give it a go.
There's only good things that can come out of it, and it's as simple as that.
You get to be involved in the camp life, which is so diverse. There's so many things that are really good. Obviously there's challenges and areas for you to grow in.
It is definitely worth pursuing and doing. There's a lot you get out of it and a lot of adventure.
Just do it. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun.
So after Peak, I had a casual job here over the summer, and then now I'm lucky enough to have been offered a full-time contract here at camp. So very exciting, and Peak couldn't have set me up better, I don't think.
I've been back at camp. I think this must be coming into about my 3rd year as activities coordinator. So here at camp, which ultimately was my goal, and I know that that's where I'm meant to be.
I discovered through Peak that I'm actually quite hands-on and I like doing things like that. So I ended up studying fashion and design, and now I have a sewing job in Deloraine.
I don't really think that I would be where I am now without Peak as that next step, which then got me working at camp and connected up here because I was a Lonnie boy. It's hard to think where I would be without doing Peak.
You know, the exciting part is that, you know, as the little ones come as campers and they become leaders with us, and then they become the Peak interns or they become staff members here. We create youth employment here on the Northwest Coast where we can keep the Tasmanians in Tasmania and give them opportunities to work in outdoor education or work in hospitality.
I feel like I have a greater awareness of God. That was probably a big thing that came out of the year, perhaps to a degree of accuracy that I probably didn't have before.
I can experience so much spiritual growth through it as well, learning about God, to now be more involved in my church and leadership positions at church, and it's probably mostly because of Peak.